Hey guys, it's Amber. So today's video is going to be a YouTube made me buy it. So I know there's lots of different ways to do this video. The way I'm going to do it today is basically I'm going to tell you the things that I was directly influenced from videos from YouTube to buy. I've bought makeup for many years for many different reasons. Sometimes it's because I got my makeup done at a makeup counter. I was basically just strolling through Sephora or Ulta, picked up something that caught my eye. Sometimes I get things in subscription boxes, or it was given to me, or I found it on Look for a great sale or something like that. I found it at a cosmetics outlet. So I've acquired makeup lots of different ways over the years, but there are some specific products that I never would have probably purchased if it weren't for YouTube. So I'm going to show you the products and tell you if I would repurchase them or not. If I was to lose this product or just use it all up or it was gone or stolen, would I repurchase it? All right, so the first thing is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. Now, I know there's been tons of drama around Jaclyn Hill, lots of drama around her Vault palettes. I just, ain't nobody got time for all that, okay? I totally get that, yeah. But I do love this original Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, and I would say that if I had the chance or if I lost this, I would purchase this again. I like the formula, I like that the shades are buttery, I like the selection of shades. Yes, there are a lot of warm tones, but I really like this palette. I feel like it blends really good. I feel like I get good looks out of it. So this is something I probably never would have even heard of. I mean, without YouTube, I would never have known about Morphe. I would never have known who Jaclyn Hill was. Yes, it's sold in Ulta now, but I mean, at the time, I would have had pretty much no way of knowing this if I didn't watch YouTube videos that this kind of thing actually existed. Morphe basically got its start from Instagram and YouTube and influencers and all that. So if I wasn't involved in this world, this is something that I never would have heard of. But I'm glad I did because I actually do really love this palette. Next is a highlighter that at the time I felt like I just had to have. And I really loved it. I really loved it. I loved using it. I use it in lots of tutorials. I felt like it was life-changing. I actually heard people say this is life-changing. And you know what? It didn't change my life. I like it. I use it. Another Jaclyn Hill product. And guys, I promise I'm not like this huge uber Jaclyn Hill fan, but these products, when they came out, were just so hyped. I did buy this. This is the most I've ever spent on a single highlighter ever. And honestly, I probably wouldn't purchase it again. I like it, but I barely made a dent in it. It's cracked twice and I've repressed it and it's cracked right now. So there's that. I feel like this came out at the right time when people were just dying for highlighters. And since then, I don't think I would ever want to spend $37 on a highlighter again. Like, I'm just like, what was I thinking? I did have a gift card for my birthday, which is what made it like the price palatable for me. But honestly, if I lost it, I wouldn't repurchase it. All right, next is Modern Renaissance. This again was, I feel like this is when ABH just exploded. This is a very beautiful palette. I really like it. I don't use it as much as I should. I feel like if I was to pay full price for this again, I might not purchase it. But if I was to find it on sale, then I would. I like it, but I just feel like with how many other palettes there are, I don't know, I just feel like it kind of gets lost in the mix. I think it's good. I just don't know that if someone stole this from me, if I would have to rush out and buy it again. Does that make sense? And I'm not saying anything bad about it. I just don't know that I would. All right, we all know that earlier this year we said rest in peace to the original Naked One, and I think we can all agree, I've already gotten rid of mine, that kind of started this whole frenzy, and I never repurchased it. But I know a lot of people who have, and I feel like that was like an OG original. And when the Naked 2 came out, I actually wasn't going to purchase it at first, but my husband actually gave it to me. But he gave it to me because he heard me watching a YouTube video where someone mentioned it. So I still feel like it falls into this category of YouTube made me buy it because it made my husband buy it. Because for whatever reason, I was watching a YouTube video and he heard Naked 2. He knew that it was such a big deal for me to get the original one, and so he was very sweet. And he actually couldn't get his hands on it for Christmas, so he drew a picture of it and wrapped it up and said, as soon as it comes back in stock, you can buy one. And I was obviously so super excited to have this. It was so iconic at the time, and I have used it and really enjoyed this palette. I'm glad that I have it. But if I used it up, I probably wouldn't repurchase it. Guys, I promise I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy about like not repurchasing anything, but I think it's just because there's always so many new things. Not that they're bad, but there's always new releases that I'm like, well, I'd rather try something else than repurchase the same old thing. And that is how I feel about the original chocolate bar. And if we're just gonna go there, let's do the bonbons too. I bought both of these palettes because of YouTube. I don't know that I would have purchased them otherwise, but I was just directly influenced, under the influence of beauty gurus, and I purchased both these palettes. I like them both, but honestly, I feel like the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette blends and has a little bit better pigmentation than these, and I don't know if it's just because they're older palettes, and at the time I really loved them, but I just don't find myself reaching for them as much, and for the price point and for the color selection, you know, I don't know. I just don't know that I would repurchase them. And if I did purchase one of them, I think I'd repurchase the original over the bonbons. I like this, but I don't love it as much as I used to. I used it in a tutorial the other day and I was like, like, I liked it. But I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, I need to keep using it. I was actually like, okay, I got some use out of this. But it's kind of on the chopping block for me almost, like of decluttering, which sounds crazy because when this first came out, it was a favorite I used over and over and over. But it's weird how over time your feelings change and you're just kind of like, I don't know. Okay, so let's get into some face products. One of them being the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana. This has been hugely talked about on YouTube. I've used quite a bit of it. I don't know that I would ever use this all up. I would repurchase this because the price point is very affordable, that I feel like it's like, what do I have to lose? And I do like it. It's just something that I forget to use. So I need to bring it out and get some more use out of it. Also, this Wet n Wild Contour Palette. I literally watched a video on this and went out that night to Walmart to buy it. And I would repurchase this. I've almost hit pay on it. But here's the thing is they changed the color selection from when they first formulated it. So I cannot buy this original formula color scheme anymore, which makes me sad because I definitely would repurchase it if they brought it back. I think they made it, I know there's two, one that's more cool and one that has the yellow. But I feel like this one, this is the caramel toffee. I feel like it's different now. But if I was able to find the same one, I use this up, then I would definitely repurchase it. I feel like this under eye shade is a very good match for me. I feel like this bronzer shade is a very good natural bronzer. I've kind of been getting sick of my Hoola because it's a little warm. So I might need to bring this out for fall, winter time because it's a little cooler toned. So yeah, I think I repurchased both those products. So there's some positivity. I'm going to throw this way back. When I bought this Benefit Benetint, this is in my project pan. I totally was in those early YouTube days. And I remember watching Juicy Star 07. I was like early 20s and she's like 15 or something. And she just took this and dotted it on her cheeks and made this beautiful pinky flush glow, and I'm like, oh, she's the popular girl in high school that I never was, so I guess I need to buy this. I mean, you know, the thinking you have when you're just very young, early 20s, teenager stage. Even as an adult, I got swept into that like young YouTube glamorous lifestyle, and if you're my age in your 30s now and you can relate, let me know so I'm not the only one who was like watching these really young girls thinking, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I did buy this because of that, and I actually, this is my second bottle of it, but I don't think I'd repurchase this again. I feel like there's other things that I like more, and Benefit isn't cruelty free, so I just no longer support the company or the brand anymore. All right, the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. I bought basically all my Essence products, most of them, from the influence of YouTube. This is a very beautiful highlighter. It's subtle, it's not super strong. I don't think I'll be able to use this all up because, again, I have so many highlighters, but this is something that I would repurchase for the way it performs, for the price point. If I lost this, I would repurchase this. I recommend it, especially for those who like a subtle highlight. I haven't used this as much because I find it similar to my Laura Mercier highlight that's in my project pan, so I feel like I don't need to be, you know, using it just because I'm using this. It's something, especially for the price, I think can't be beat, honestly. I really like it, so I would highly suggest it. All right, Milani Conceal and Perfect. I have not repurchased this yet because I've been using other foundations, but I would repurchase this. I think it was Tati, Glam Life Guru, who always used this for a while. I tried it, I really liked it. I would repurchase this. It's one of my favorite foundations. I feel like it gives a really nice coverage. I feel like it gives me a good finish. It lasts a good amount of time. I wouldn't say this is like a 20-hour foundation or anything, but I think it's reasonable. And I do think that it gives a good look to my skin. And when I wear this in videos, I do get compliments from you guys. That's how I know I'm doing something right. So I would recommend it and I would repurchase it. So there was a very big time on YouTube where the whole putting the cream in your waterline was like so big, like everybody did it. And since then I feel like that trend's kind of died down. This is the Rimmel Scandalized and Nude. I did have this in a project pan a few years ago. And if I used this all up and that trend was back, I definitely would repurchase it for the price point and how well it worked. I think it's a good product. But I feel like the overall makeup trend has kind of gone away from putting that in your waterline. And maybe that's just me. There's still different times and looks where it's appropriate, and when people have redness, they need to, you know, use it to brighten up their eyes, make them look more awake. It's definitely useful, and I still do use it and still do like it. I just feel like it was like everyone was doing it, and so it was super trendy. But yeah, I would probably repurchase that again. And last but not least, I want to talk about the Ordinary products. Now, the Ordinary is something I would never have heard of without YouTube. And not only would I repurchase it, I do repurchase it. I love this stuff so much. I love all their products that I've tried. And I highly recommend them for the price point. I've raved about them a ton. So I'm not going to go more on this because I have separate videos about them. But that's definitely something that I would recommend and repurchase. So I hope you guys enjoyed this YouTube Made Me Buy It. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!